This program is unique in its international perspective. Our intent is to create a program which no single partner could have created on their own, that we want to draw from the strengths of each particular partner. And in each of the modules, they'll draw on the regional expertise of that particular partner, and they'll try to give an insight into the challenges and the strengths and weaknesses of family firms from that particular region. Although the characteristics of family firms in China vary, they face similarities in terms of the obstacles that they face going forward. First is the challenge of succession. That for many of these firms, it's the first time that they've dealt with this challenge, that they're making the transition from entrepreneurial, dynamic first-generation leaders to the second generation. Secondly, they face the challenge of looking for new sources of competitive advantage. This is true of all private sector firms in China. These firms had initial competitive advantage based on cost, but now that costs are rising in China, how do they compete in a China in the era of the new normal? The focus of the Oxford module is global expansion and innovation. Each of these raises unique challenges for family firms. The family has to be able to understand how to finance growth in ways that do not relinquish control of the firm. They have to be able to understand how to attract the human capital that will allow them to create new sources of sustainable competitive advantage. Within the module, we will be giving the participants frameworks and tools for each of these. Finally, we'll be talking about innovation. What should the firm think about in terms of trying to understand different ecosystems, how they can draw from these ecosystems, and how to attract people which will allow the firm to create the sources of competitive advantage they need to compete.
Who should apply to this program? Companies that historically have been fast-growing, that have been successful, that have the means to expand and the desire to expand, but also might face questions of succession. You're going to be able to get some sort of traction in thinking about ways that you can, A, protect family wealth if that's what you want to do, B, ways that you can seek partial liquidity. Do you want to access global capital markets? Are they right for you? Do you have to give up some sort of ownership? It may be as simple as, am I better off selling the company? Can I afford to take a risk like expanding overseas? Can I take a risk like by expanding into innovative companies? Can I get involved with technology firms? Can I diversify? These are all things that the module in Oxford will teach you, but it will teach you in an environment that allows you to reflect. Oxford has a historic reason for its continued success. It's been educating leaders around the world for 800 years. Oxford is a place that allows you to take time off from your business to reflect on what you really want. Oftentimes that's difficult when you're running a company day to day. You will have met a peer group of people that you will be able to discuss this issue with. You will have faculty that will take an interest in what you're doing. You will meet families that have done this successfully in Europe. You will meet politicians and regulators that pay careful attention to what companies do overseas. All of this will transform you in so many ways because you'll take it back and say, I understand it now I need to go and plan for the future.